Hi everybody, my name is Jan Dufour and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator locating just outside of Louisville, Kentucky. Today we're going to make a really cute tea bag and honey / with lemon / with gift card, depending on how you want to make it. I have a few examples to show you. A little bit of housekeeping. My website, if you're with me from YouTube, is stampmesilly.com. That's where I have the project sheet that will give you all of the measurements and a diagram. If you have any questions or if you would like a catalog for free, you can email me at jandufour@yahoo.com. And if you would like to purchase any of these items and don't have another demonstrator, then please go to my online store at jandufour.stampinup.net. All right, let's put this away and get going. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm still wearing this. So if you've been following me, I have a broken wrist. I'm a little awkward doing some things, but it doesn't hurt so much when I try to do it. So we're going to get by with this. I've got another couple of weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks left that I have to wear it. So we're good. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to show you, first I'm going to show you the inside of one of them, and then when I make them, I'll show you the variations. So this one is just simply tied together. The ribbon is attached with the little sentiment. You noticed in the same stamp set, which, let me show you that, is celebrating with tags. I've been using this a lot because there's so many things on there, but I'm using either the Merry Christmas or Made with Love. So when you open it up, you can have multiple different things. I've made it so you can put one tea bag on this side with crystallized honey and lemon and a gift card in the middle. You can also put this here and lemon here and put another tea bag. Or if you think that the person needs more than one honey with 2 tea bags, you can also put this. They will all fit no matter how you do it. So let me go ahead and put it back in the configuration because then I know what's in there for when I give it away. All right, slide that in there. And I'm just gonna set it aside because doing bows is not painful physically. It's just painful to try to do it with a, it's not a cast, but it is a cast. It's a very tight brace. Okay. How do we make this? The best thing is to use non-directional paper. Now, it's possible to do directional paper, but just keep in mind that when you flip it up and fold it down, you're going to have right side, and on the top, it's going to be the wrong direction. So just keep that in mind. So your paper, and again, if you're on YouTube, there will be a project sheet that will be over on my website at stampmesilly.com. This is 6 by 9.5, and I'm going to show you. Let me get all of this out of the way. We're going to score it first on the long side, and let's make sure it's tucked up in there. And we're going to score it at 3, 3 1/4. 6 1/4. Make sure I'm in the right spot. 6 1/2. That's it. And then it doesn't matter which way you turn it, but you want to be along the 6-inch side, and you want to score it at 1 1/4 and 4 3/4. All right, and that's it. Let me put this away. It's hard to lift things with my left hand, so I gotta turn away. Sorry about that. Believe me, it's way more of a pain in the butt for me than it is for you. So we're gonna go ahead and fold and burnish. Do the long ends first, it doesn't really matter. I will tell you though, when you're doing the this end, because it's 1/4 of an inch in between, you might not struggle, but you have to be careful. Be aware, you want this to be squared up. So it's quite easy to, when you get to the next one, to have it bend where it's not supposed to. So I just kind of line it up when I know I'm on that fold, and then I'm fine with the rest of it. It'll go straight. So I'm just burnishing all of these score marks that we made. Got one more, and make sure that's squared up, and it is. And there you have it. Now, there are, let's see, a couple different ways. I'll show you this one to handle the inside. This one is folded down on the corners. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's very, very simple. It's just added gluing and weighting. And for me, if you look at my original sample, I don't have that done, and I'm okay with that. I think it looks fine. But you do you, however you would prefer, and I will show you how to do it. So there's these score marks right at 3 inches each. I just take this and fold it down, and there's no perfection involved. It's just folded down along this line, this edge. If it's slightly off, nobody's gonna know. And we'll do this one. It actually doesn't hurt much, but it is difficult to press with it. My knitting has been delayed. I have 2 granddaughters with one of my sons, and I made the older one, who's 3, her sweater. It's got moose and trees on it, by the way. And this happened. I'm just gonna show you how I glue. And again, this is not a science here. All you're doing is there's no pressure on these sections. So all I'm doing is adding a little bit of glue. It's not even necessarily all in the right spot. And then you have to hold it down, and you do have to wait for it to dry. So I'll stand here and tell you what's going on. So now I'm making the, not quite a year old, her sweater to match. And hers has got 1 row of moose and 2 rows of trees. And the older one has 2 rows of moose and 1 row of tree. She's taller and she can handle that much. So I am kind of behind on that, and I really want to get it done by Christmas. So we will see. So regardless of whether or not you fold these back, and again, I personally don't think it makes much difference, but you want to get to the center. Now, remember there's that 1/4 inch right here. Don't glue that part on the top. You want to glue from the inside of that to the inside of that. Again, not so important. I have to be able to see. Oh yeah, there it is. Not so important that it's perfect. That's good enough. On the bottom, they're the same size, so it doesn't really matter. You are going to put some glue in that 1/4 inch space, because we want that to stick down, so we can put that, so they create some pockets down at the bottom. So then you just fold it and hold it. That rhymes, isn't that cute? I'm going to hold it for just a moment, and then I'm going to flip it over and put my big block on it, which is the only thing I ever use that big block for. Then we're going to go ahead and make the rest. So I'm just folding it over to the side, making that sharp, and then putting this on it. And that covers the middle part. I'm going to scoot that to the side for now. I know you don't have a stamparatus or can't get one anymore unless you want to pay very dearly for it, but I'm going to use it today, and it's mostly because of my wrist. If you don't have any kind of positioning tool, go to my website, stampmesilly.com, and Google Stamp Positioner, and I show you how to make one for about $4. It works very well. It does require a little more pushing, which is part of my problem right now. It's not difficult at all, but when I'm making a whole bunch of things, what I did was I took just a 1/4 sheet of cardstock, preferably thick if you have it. If not, don't worry about it. I took the Modern Oval Punch, and I didn't center it. I didn't do anything. I just punched it twice. The reason I punched it twice, and I put it up in the corner, is because on some of them, I have Merry Christmas and To and From on the back. And what a great way to get both of them stamped at the same time. So once you have this, you can just indiscriminately punch out a bunch of ovals. And the reason it's so much faster is because normally you would stamp, and then you have to position the punch perfectly, and you have to do that multiple times. This way I did it once. I went ahead, put this in here, I positioned my stamps, I made sure they were straight by stamping on something else, and now all I have to do is insert this into, and I do kind of make sure it's scooted in there, press it down. That's kind of why the having the thick white or gluing two of them together works so well. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and ink up both of these. I've shown this in other videos as well. The other nice thing, of course, when you use a stamp positioner is if you need to restamp it. I don't, but if you do, it's in the right spot. But see how quickly I don't have to punch these out. So I'm going to set this aside because I'm done with that. And actually, let's see, where's my thing? So it should be dry by now. It doesn't take very long. So here you have it. You might have to like refold. You know, the glue might have gotten in a little corner. That doesn't matter. It doesn't bother it. But I am just refolding my folds because I had it straight and I glued and all of that other stuff. Then you just have to decide what you want to put in it. So this one, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 of these crystal, or they call it granulated. Some of them call them crystallized honey packets. Now, because I want them together and I don't want it too thick, I'm scooting everything to one side. Oh, I have this upside down. Oops. Let me try that again. My pocket is down here. I push everything over to one side, and that puts the thickness on that side. And then I do it again, and then I overlap the part that doesn't have a lot. So it's a little bit more evenly spaced over here. And then I'm going to go ahead in this one and put 2. I'm going to end up having to open up every single one of these so I know what's in there. Then you just take some ribbon, and I will tell you, I made a bunch with the smaller ribbon. I'm not a fan. I like it with a thicker ribbon. I just think it works better. It actually holds better. It was easier to make. And when I do my ribbon, I leave off enough on the one side that I think, oh, I can tie a bow with that. And then I do not cut the ribbon off there. And you save a little bit of ribbon of doing it that way. This is going to be, like I said, painful for you as you watch me try to do this. But I do want to show you some tips and tricks. So you go ahead and you pull it tight. And then use your third hand, which I use this even when I don't have a paw that doesn't work. But it's great for tying, or for when you tie your ribbon. Then you go ahead and you tie it, and you pull it tight, and you take this out. And then you have to, I have a friend who calls it zhuzhing. I always thought that was a weird word, but then I realized I say some really weird words too. So there you have it. So there you go. Once you got it to the size that you want, then you take your scissors and you can make a pretty edge. As long as you don't untie and retie it a lot, it won't fray. If you have to tie it and untie it a lot, then you can take a lighter and singe the edge. Be very careful when you do that. And then just so that this doesn't fall off and get lost if a person is opening it up while you're there, you can do this little trick. Take your, oh my goodness, my hands are not working. Take your dimensionals. I put, where do I want it? 1/2 above, 1/2 below, and another 1/2 above. That holds the ribbon in place. And then when I take this off, well, you'd think my right hand was broken the way that was working. just tried to wet my finger and I ended up sticking one of those things in my mouth. I told you, they get everywhere. And then you just place that there. And if that's all you want to do to it, great. I always like to add a little bling. I don't have any that is cherry cobbler or real red or anything close to that. So I used my, and I can't find it. I used my Stampin' Blends, which are alcohol markers, and I just colored it up. And then you can put the little bling on there if you like. And again, that's not necessary either. It's just something I like to do. I hope you enjoyed this and wasn't too painful watching my hand try to function. Again, my website is stampmesilly.com. Please consider subscribing and notification. I post once a week unless there is a flash sale, which we had last week, where we had percentages off different items. So I posted a day early for that one, but sometimes I might just send an email with that information on there. But other than that, it's once a week. I promise not to bug you. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Bye.